on my screen.
An error
It's
has
mirrored.
occurred. Yeah,
Oh.
don't worry about it.
An error has
It
occurred?
says an
No.
error has occurred. I
So
don't
this
trust
is
that.
not mirrored on your screen. The lamb chops.
No, it says lamb
So it
chops.
just reads lamb chops.
Yes, it does.
On my screen it says, yep.
That doesn't make any sense. Why
lamb
is
chops
yours
backwards.
mirrored when mine... Wait,
yours isn't
maybe
mirrored.
I should check. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that is your right. Okay, that's
mirrored.
weird. It's mirrored for me, but not for. Should I wear glasses?
You can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me.
But does it look disruptive because of the screen? I guess if I look down.
Now you look like a certified tech nerd that does.
But now you just see the reflection.
That's true. Yeah, I only see your camera or your.
But if I look down like this, I just look like a delinquent. I won't wear glasses.
You just yep. No, be
Those
blind.
are also blue lights, so I think they reflect a lot more light. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where to put this. I'm sorry, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome back, everyone, to John Talks to Lamb. It's your host, Lamb.
And John. That's me over here.
Hell yeah, brother.
This is episode 2 of the video version of the podcast.
Yeah, very experimental.
What?
Is it very experimental?
Yes. We'll see how far we actually get using this method.
I think we commit to the bit.
I can't stare down at us and look up at the camera at the same time.
I don't even think I can put this. Can you put this in full screen? I don't think so.
I don't know. It's not possible.
That's lame.
The key here is that you can see us and we can see each other, kind of.
And we can see you.
Yes. There is a monitor. There is a camera on your screen, viewer. It's looking. You're the third person in our video call right down there.
Yeah, even though the video is gonna just have me and John on there, there's also a third screen with you on it.
Yep.
As we watch you.
Yeah. Just because we love you. No, that's.
I want you to feel involved.
You know what? I take it back. That's too much.
We don't love him.
We like you. No. I mean,
we haven't known you very long.
It's hard to admit that,
It's kind of love. That's a very strong word.
It's a bold feeling. Yeah.
Like if you admit you love somebody, you got to be sure. And let me tell you, I'm not sure about you yet.
Yeah.
I heard you got some dirty secrets.
We just kind of we don't really even know your name, to be honest with you, because
what's your name, Chad?
Only a couple of you have written in, and we asked you very specifically to write in problems so that we could answer them. Because we don't have enough problems of our own these days.
Yeah, that. Let's go with that. I don't have any problems. I am
a week, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. I could complain more about work, but we don't need me talking for 50 minutes again.
We like to keep this upbeat. See, all right. This is related to work, but it's actually more theoretical rather than, an event that actually happened, right? So previously, I was, maybe a week and a half ago, I was like a part-time worker, quote unquote, right? I was working like 50 hours over 2 weeks. But I was then given the option to increase my amount of time. Yeah, not sponsored by Kool-Aid Jammers, but good drink. I was then given the option to increase my hours up to 60 overall, but I would gain 2 extra days. So I was every 2 weeks, right? Every 2 weeks, on like Friday, that was when my payday would hit. Now it's on the 1st and the 16th, or, approximately whenever that happens, every 16 days. So I'm technically working more hours, but I'm working over a longer period, so it's slightly easier.
Okay.
The big thing that sort of changed is I sort of looked at the schedule that I was working, and then I looked at my new schedule, and I kind of compared, right? Like previously I was sort of working Monday to Friday, right? I was doing Monday, 5 hours, Friday, 5 hours, every other day of the week, 5 hours. Then I had the weekend to kind of do my own thing and try and pursue writing or, creative options. I have discovered that I can't just switch it like that. I can't go from work to immediately into basically the exact same thing, but being creative writing rather than creative problem solving at my job. So,
okay,
I want to put to you, there were 4 options in the end, but there were 3 options initially, right? And these were the 3 options that I
quit your job.
considered. That's option 5. Actually, that's option 6. Option 5 was, can I get fewer hours to make this work again, so I don't have to figure this out. But sorry, I'm pulling up my. There it is. Okay, so for you, this is an opinion-based thing. What would you rather do? I'll tell you what I think I'm gonna do in the future, afterwards. But so think about it like this, right? You have the control of your hours. You have to work 60 hours in 16 days. Off the top of your head, can you think of a ideal way to do that for you?
I did some math. Give me a second.
Sure. Okay. I've done the math. I'll tell you what it is. So there are a couple of ways you could do it. If you like working 8 hours a day, you could work for 7.5 days. So 7 full days and then 1 half day. And then you would get 8.5 days off in that work period. Or you can work 12 days on and 4 days. You would get 4 days off, but you would only be working 5 hours a day. That was kind of what my schedule was before, minus the extra 2 days that I had to catch up. It was 10 on, 4 off.
Okay.
The last option, well, the third option, I should say, is 16 days on. You work every day, no days off, but you only work 3.75 hours a day, 3 hours and 45 minutes. Those are the 3 starting options that I had. Do any of those sound appealing to you?
I mean, they all sound appealing to me because I work 8 hours, 5 days a week.
Exactly. You're basically already on the 7.5. No, wait. You are on 10. Well, what is your pay period? Is it 2 weeks?
It's every 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're 10. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty intense. That's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 40-hour weeks.
I work 80 hours every paycheck.
That's intense. Yeah.
That's just a normal 9 to 5.
Of course, yeah. That's why I was so excited this week that I got given the option to really customize my hours, right?
Well, yeah. Technically, I'm allotted 75 hours a paycheck.
Okay.
But 80 hours is cool, and then overtime hits. But they want me to only work 75. But with the way that this last couple of weeks have gone, I'm definitely getting overtime.
Yeah, they don't like giving you time and a half. That's no fun.
No, because I won't say how much I would be making, because then people will do math to see how much I make.
Sure.
And that's personal information.
Of course, yeah.
But
of those 3 options, do any of those sound? If you had to pick one,
what was the original? What was the first one? It was work 8-hour days for how many days?
8-hour days, 7.5 days on, 8.5 days off.
I would do that, and then just stagger the days that I work, or I work every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's only 6. Or do you also work weekends?
Yeah. It's really the whole 16-day period. You can do whatever days you want. Yeah.
That would be good for me, because then I could actually schedule things out as somebody who wants to do who would like to do things that take up time to outside of work. That'd be great. If I had an acting gig or something, or anything like that.
We'd have to take off really work. Cool. You can kind of schedule work around it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Or it could be can't work, or I can't take off work yet, but I can work on the hours that I'm not acting type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be ideal. Knock it out in big chunks, so then I just have whole days, and maybe just a day on, a day off kind of deal. Or if I'm really filling up to it, I'll just take I'll do a whole week, and the whole 8 days in a row, and then have the rest of the time off to myself. It'd be taking a little vacation, honestly.
Okay. Follow up then. Okay. If you're cool with doing 7.5 days with 8 hours each, why not make the next step and go 3 days, 10 hours, then take 5 days off, and then 3 days, 10 hours, 5 days off?
How much work do you do?
I don't know what that.
Are you actively working every hour, or every minute? You're actively doing something at work
for the most part.
Or it's I'm on the clock. I'm working on stuff, but I do have time to kind of slack off.
I mean,
or it's only counting the time that you're actively working.
I mean, the way that I do it is I punch in, and then I just continually do stuff for the next however long it takes.
Do you get a
Obviously,
lunch
taking
break?
breaks for going to the bathroom,
Mm.
stretching like once an hour, kind of, take like 5 minutes to just recenter, refocus, and then get back into it.
Do you get a lunch break?
I don't
Or is it
think no, not like
okay?
a paid lunch because I'm making my own hours, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just basically
So
I just
theoretically,
should just schedule it on my own.
theoretically,
Mm-hmm.
can I work 5 hours, clock out, take an hour lunch, come back, do another 5 hours? So make that 13-hour days.
100%.
I
13
would do
hour
that
days?
then.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
know what you
well,
mean.
12-hour days, but the 13 if you include the unpaid lunch.
Wait,
I would do that.
where's the
8 to 8. The
8 to
13, I'm saying like from like you start working, you do have that hour in between, but I'm counting it into it just because that's the amount of time I'm not having free time, is what I'm saying.
right.
So it's still
This is
12.
also like there's no
I know it's not
travel.
paid
There's no
lunch.
travel.
No, 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 no.
It's a work
I
from
no, no,
home
no, no.
gig.
I'm just saying in my brain, I count lunchtime, even though it's not on the clock,
Sure.
for like how many hours I'm going to be doing
But
something.
then it would still be 11 hours, wouldn't it?
No, 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 no.
Because it's 5 hours
Five.
working, 5 hours working, and an hour for
Yeah.
lunch.
Wait, I thought you said 12. Hold on.
No, it's three
You did say
days,
10. You did say
10
10.
hours.
My dumb. Okay, yeah, yeah.
We actually
11
considered
hours.
5, 12. We
Uh
thought
huh.
that was not worth the jump because
5 hours, 12 days.
yeah, think about it like this, right? You're doing 7.5, 8.5 with 8 hour days. If you make that jump to 10-hour days, you are gaining basically 2 full days because it's a half day that you're getting back and then another whole day. You're jumping
Mm,
from 8.5 free days to 10 free days. And so you can do 3 blitz days, 5 days of
mm.
relaxation or, free time, 3 more days of blitzing, 5 days. Or
I think I would
alternatively, you could do
do.
3 days
Yeah.
blitz, 10 days off, 3 days blitz, and then 5, 3, 5, 3 until you catch back up.
Yeah. I think I would still stagger it if I
Mm-hmm.
did the 10-hour days. Maybe like two, like 1, 2, and then a day in between, and then the third day. So like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. That way I'm not completely burnt out. But then I also have my weekends, you
Sure.
know?
Okay. No, that's a good theory. That's a good idea. I like the way that you're thinking.
Yeah.
The reason that I'm really leaning now, okay, I haven't put this into practice yet. This is all
Okay.
theoretical. The only
Mm-hmm.
reason that I'm leaning towards the 3, 5, 3, 5 with 10-hour days is because it gives me that 5 day stretch, right? I
Yeah.
will be miserable for 3 days,
Only 3 days.
only 3 days. Then I have a whole day to totally decompress and detach my mind from work. The day after that, I can literally schedule, just like I would schedule work. I can schedule time to edit, to write, to do
Mm.
something because every time I have tried to do that in the past, well, for the past like year, it's been, work 5 days and then I have Saturday, Sunday. And usually my Saturday tends to get kind of absorbed by side hustle, by family stuff going on. Who knows, right? So that kind of
Mm.
only leaves me Sunday to do creative things. And then
Yeah, that's not a
every
lot of
other
time.
Sunday I'm also doing like a D&D. So
That is
that
also
day is
fair.
also
You
then
don't have
gone.
time for nothing.
Exactly. So, with this new scheduling concept, I'm baking in a trashable day. Trashable. Sorry to everybody that would fall under my trashable day. All of
Mm-hmm.
my family and friends, you fall under trashable day. Personal hobbies and creative projects that I have to like schedule time to focus on. Then I can literally schedule out like multiple days because I've struggled so hard trying to get back into writing
Yeah,
purely because the stage that I'm at in the writing process requires me to have a ramp up. I have
really
to
lock
read
in.
back through the stuff that I've written to understand what was going on in the maniac that wrote this' mind so
Yeah.
that I can continue moving forward. And I cannot do that with only 2 days of off time.
Mm.
So I think
You kind of suck.
with 5 days of off time,
No, you'd be able to get a lot done. I think that's
so
probably a good way to do it.
I think I'm at
If
least
I had that time,
yeah,
I'd be doing so much more.
yeah.
Hell, honestly, I think I'd be able to indulge in all my other creative activities.
That's
That's
exactly
why I've
right.
only been writing because that's the only thing I really have time to do because
Mm-hmm.
I can do that very easily. I can lock in on that very easily.
Nice.
I write at work.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
I write when I have free time at work. Sometimes not free time. Sometimes when I'm just walking in the halls,
Mm-hmm.
or if an idea pops in my head, I'll just start writing it. Mostly just the my little AU universe, I guess,
Sure.
for
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. Um, but yeah, what's it called? Or like, the heck? Okay, my mic just attacked me.
Stop messing with your equipment. It's fine.
Leave me alone. Let me live my life. What's it called? But mostly, so recently, about a month ago, we got issued a challenge by me and Anthony got issued a challenge by our boss.
Mm-hmm.
So they get competitive sometimes. Anthony's a very competitive person, and he, like you, is kind of. I feel like you both fit in this realm of, you are like, there's this confidence that you can do 80% of things.
You're saying
Like you have the ability to do things. Like you just are good at them.
him and me have the
Uh,
same
I think
misplaced
you
confidence? Uh-huh. Okay.
I wouldn't say misplaced.
Let's
Maybe.
go.
No,
I can do anything I put my mind to.
that's his mentality is if he has time and he can put the effort towards it,
Okay.
there's 80% of the time he's able to get good at it because he's a jack of all trades kind of guy.
Fair. Okay.
And so I think you also fit under that category.
Nice. I strive for
Um
that. Yep.
and so he and my boss like to get competitive about random stuff sometimes. And so our boss was like, you know what? After she said that, he was like, you know what? Let's have a competition then. Isaiah, you're good at writing, aren't you? And I was
Ooh,
like,
okay.
yeah. He goes, cool. We're gonna have a writing competition. And I was like, how did I get roped into this?
Wait, I thought this was between the two of them.
It was between the two of them, but I got roped into it, I
Okay,
guess.
fair.
And I was like, oh, all right, cool. Or he didn't say I'm good already. He was like, oh, you're a writer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, because I told him I did some writing,
He didn't give you the bit.
yada yada
Now
yada.
you are good at writing, yes? He just said you are
Well,
capable.
he hasn't read anything I've done,
Oh, I
to be
see.
fair.
Okay.
And so I was just like, oh, I guess I'm a part of this now.
I guess.
And then we got the prompt, which is write about someone who had to give up something they love.
Right. Okay.
Um, and 12-point font, Times New Roman, double spaced, 8 pages.
He brought
And
you in as a
so
competitor rather than a third party. Like,
yeah,
okay.
and I was like, okay, cool, because we have one of our other coworkers. I guess she's technically one of my higher ups.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, she's going to be judging everything. And then also we had told one of our other coworkers, who's also one of my higher ups, about it because it was due yesterday. And so she was like, next time we do it, I want in. So apparently we're just gonna have a writing competition with all the staff at this point.
Hey, okay.
Um, but yeah, and so our boss, he worked on it the first day,
Yeah.
and he didn't touch it for weeks. And then last week he worked on it again, didn't touch it again until yesterday, and he managed to pull out the rest of it. Anthony didn't touch it until last Wednesday, I think,
Okay.
because he was sick. But like he had written everything down on sticky notes, and like he had already kind of had the whole thing planned out. The difference with him, he's used to doing like Dungeons and Dragons storytelling and
Sure.
like he's used to storytelling in like a DM sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very easy for him to come up with these ideas and concepts. But when it comes to writing it down, he says he is not as adept with it.
It is
But it
meticulous
was
work, I can tell you that. Yeah.
yeah. And like the original idea he had was pretty cool, but there was no way it was going to fit in 8 pages.
Oh, really?
Because there was so much world building that needed to happen, and like background that needed to go into it, that whole thing would have probably taken up the 8 pages
Yeah.
alone. But yeah. Oh, you're frozen.
I'm
Oh, you're
frozen.
back.
Oh,
You're back. My
okay.
internet sucks, dude.
Yeah, it's probably mine too. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
saw this
Last
thing the
time.
other day about it's a video that somebody had released about the writing about no, is I guess more about pitching your project to other people. Like when somebody asks
Mm.
you, because you and I both suffer this exact same problem. When someone asks you, so like what's sort of going on in your in this world? And you gotta go, all
Yeah.
right, let's start from the beginning. I hope you set off 8 hours of your life because I'm about to explain everything. Yeah. This dude was trying to say, like, we somehow you have to boil it down. I think no, the whole thing was like your story is boring because you can't explain it down in one sentence. I was
I don't
like,
think that's true. They're
that's
fucking stupid.
yeah, it felt really
They're
reductive.
idiotic.
Yeah.
So okay, here's the thing. Let me talk now. Okay. So like,
No, you don't get to talk. No,
I'm
no.
not against you.
Uh-huh.
I'm with you on this. So I, as somebody who suffers from that
Mm-hmm.
very badly, I've gotten better at it.
Okay, yeah.
I've been I've been getting better at log lining my ideas in my
Sure, okay. That's
projects.
good. It's a good skill to have.
Because I think the time when it really hit me, is there's been several times it
Mm.
happened. Well, for one, when I look back, I'm like, I'm so sorry for holding these people hostage. Because UJS, that whole story thing,
Yeah.
um,
You have to explain
because
so much.
I know everything that goes on in there, but I feel like if I bring up anything, I have to explain why I put it in there and
Exactly.
what its relevance is and what's going to happen with that specific thing in the future. So it makes sense why it's here now. Uh, but back when I was not condensing my story, the longest
Mm.
I talked to somebody outside of you was 5 hours.
5, yeah, that's
And that's the person I'm dating right now, by the way.
that is maniacal. It is
Yeah. And now
boy, oh boy.
if you ask me about UJS, I'd be like, "Oh, it's a story about some kids who have superpowers and they have to defeat an enemy from an alternate universe. Simple as that."
Yep, that's pretty fair.
If you asked me like 5 years ago, I'd be like, all right, so here's the thing. So episode 1 starts like this. This is why this is important. There's 2 alternate universes. This happens and this happens. There's a great schism that goes on.
Yeah.
There used to be humans and furry people. They're not furry people, but John calls them furry people, because they're anthropomorphic animals and they're all, they're all kids and yada,
Yep.
yada, yada. And
That,
this is
yep.
why,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'll just go into the whole thing. But now they're just superpowered kids who have to defeat an alternate universe set.
Yeah, that's good. See, he totally could have written down those 8 pages. Just don't worry about the lore, or make a secondary lore document.
See, that's what we were trying to avoid.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
Yeah, that's what's so important with short stories.
You know what
But
cracks me up is okay, no. I'm very mixed on it because I
yeah.
love when people tell me or when they ask me like for advice on like world building or like character creation or something, and then they're like, yeah, so like, what do you think about this? And I go, yeah, that's pretty cool. What's going on? Are you like making a new character? And they're like, no, I'm gonna start writing a D&D world. And every time I go, I have to like hold my tongue so hard because I'm like,
Oh no.
I want to say, don't do it.
Listen, it's not a bad thing. It just
No,
depends
not
on
at all.
how big. No, just shut up. It depends on how big your world of a world you're trying to make and how deep you're trying to get into it. Your world, I'm not touching that.
It got
I love Anio,
too,
but fuck, dude. With my campaign that I'm working on, you condense yours down to a realm, but your realm is as big as a freaking planet, dude.
yes, it is.
Mine, the world, the realm world that I'm working on is only as big as 5 continents.
That's still pretty big.
It is, but I'm only working on one space at a time, and I haven't touched it in a while. And it's 5 continents and a giant volcano as well.
Yeah.
Well, technically, it's a little bit more. They're countries, they're not continents, but they're basically continents. Because inside the continents are, the whole thing. When it comes to UJS, when I started world building that's when I was starting to get to almost Anio levels of world building, because I think I did do 7 continents because it's supposed to be a parallel to the Earth.
Oh yeah, okay.
But working on each of the different ones, creating different countries to go inside each of the continents, or cities inside each of the countries or whatever, that's a whole thing. Creating cultures for every place, because it starts with, oh, here's a place. I kind of think this is a cool name. All right, well, we need a place that has this, or it'll be like, oh, this whole country, this is the whole theme of this place. Okay, cool. Now that we have the theme of this place that has this. This also has this. Oh, they need some agriculture, so let's add this over here. Maybe they have some textile mills or something. Oh, you know what? Maybe they're into infrastructure and industrialization.
Then it's
Fuck,
2
okay, let's
a.m.
scratch
and
this whole thing.
you're looking at a half-built map going, I can't scrap this. I'm in too deep. This
Yeah,
city looks like this because the architect that made it was scatterbrained.
sucks. I will say, I will say, I think I'm pretty good at filling out my areas,
Hmm.
my maps and my worlds,
Sure, yeah.
uh, and accounting for a lot of things. My real struggle is though, like doing things at a world building scale
Yeah.
versus individual areas.
Hmm.
Like I can make individual areas pretty easily and be like, oh, they need this, they need this, they need that. How do I do that when it comes to the world?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. Or like, okay, there's this religion that's in this world. Where do they have their, their main church?
Mhm.
Oh, all the way in this country, this town over here. Well, how the hell did they get over here? I get this they have this outreach or whatever,
Yeah.
but like, is this just a town, a city that's just this cult itself, or is it, oh, they're just a part of this city
Mm.
town? What do you mean they have a fortress built in a mountain? What's going on? That's a part of my Vocal Apocalypse campaign I'm working on.
Uh,
World building is fun,
it's basically
but
just a
my
series of
god, it's
ridiculous rabbit
tedious.
holes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You go where you try and answer questions. You ask yourself questions and then you answer those questions, but those
and then
questions
those answers create more
they make more
questions.
questions. So it's
Like
inevitable. Yeah. It's
I think
unending.
one of my favorites for UJS. That's my TV show I'm working on that I haven't touched in 2 years.
Nice. Yeah. It's still there, it's back burner. It's
Yeah,
always there.
yeah. It's back in the background.
Mhm.
See, if I had a schedule like you're trying to make, I would have a lot more time to work on it.
Dude, I'm hoping it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I need a job like that. But what was I saying? Oh, again, 7 continents or whatever. I based them all on, or try to base them all on, the real world Earth continents
Right.
or whatever.
Yep.
There's this one, I forgot what it's called, but it's a big old desert. It's supposed to be the Australia of this world, and I found out that Australia itself was originally just a British prison.
Right.
So what
Yeah.
do I do there? I make it a prison that houses all the world's
Oh.
worst criminals.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, cool. That's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
because I have to make it interesting. So not only it's basically Gotham, or it's basically Arkham Asylum,
Sure. Okay.
where all the villains and criminals kind of the country
Okay.
essentially. And it's divided up into 4 factions based
Now,
on the 4
what you're describing is
powerhouses.
not Arkham. What you're describing is Escape from New York. You should watch.
Escape from New
You
York.
should watch that movie.
I see.
Snake
I'll have to-
Plissken.
I'll have to check it out. But yeah, it's got the 4 top powerhouses. There's one who's basically like Poison Ivy,
Okay.
but like even cooler sometimes.
Ooh,
No, she's
nice.
not cool. You can't get cooler than Poison Ivy.
So it's hard
There's
to
a
beat.
Poison Ivy
Yeah.
kind of character. There's somebody who is a legitimate psychopath, who has powers that are based on fear. I guess it's kind of like Scarecrow, but instead
Okay.
of like a fear toxin, he can just look at you and you'll shit yourself. And he preys on fear. So the more fearful you are, the stronger he is. He also eats people's souls. So that's a whole thing.
Wow.
There's a character who can alter people's memories. And then there's another person I forgot. But yeah, and I like my favorite thing with world building is character creation and making people feel like individuals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the character that does the memory thing, he's got a very important role in one of the main characters' background, because his whole thing, it's Joe. His whole thing is, I'm the strongest, I'm the best,
Right.
I'm gonna be the hero for everybody. But we find out some pretty tragic things about his backstory regarding that guy. I won't spoil too much, but he's not the original.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's a
clone.
He's a
But
clone.
we'll get into that another day. But yeah, I'll tell my current relationship partner about these things, or specifically my my Dragon Ball alternate universe story. And literally yesterday we hung out, and he goes, "Why do you keep traumatizing your characters?" And I'm like, it's important for growth.
Yeah.
I don't traumatize them just because I want to. And he goes, "But they're children." I'm like, "Yes, they're kids."
That's when the
But-
best trauma happens, really.
Listen, I get it. It's Dragon Ball. You're gonna have trauma. What do you mean? And he's like, you can make stories where they don't get traumatized. I'm like, I do. And he does have moments with that. And a lot of the characters in here, they have moments where they overcome their trauma, or they, address it. They deal with it.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I'm becoming a better person because I'm able to face it now.
Yeah.
his trauma, I mean, so like the first thing that happens is he fights a galactic emperor in like a little game, and he defeats him.
Right.
And the wager was, if you can land one hit on me, the galactic emperor, I guess his son, really, he was like, if you can land one hit on me, I'll do whatever you want. Because the main character, he was like, yeah, you didn't show respect to us, so why should we respect you? He's just being a kid. He's like 9 or 10 at this point.
Okay, sure.
And so he lands a hit on the guy. The guy's about to blow up the planet, but his dad is the emperor's dad, or the real emperor, is like, hey, you made a wager, you need to stick to it. And the guy's like, whatever, dad. He didn't say it like that, but he's just like, fuck it, all right, cool, what do you
Yeah.
want me to do?
He's
And the
bad
kid is
boy
like,
guy, yeah.
I want you to leave us alone. Get off the planet. And he's like, grr, I guess I have to. So he leaves. And how is that traumatic? Just because he's fighting a grown-ass
Yeah,
man
that doesn't sound traumatic.
who kills people in a psychopathic tendency.
Okay, well,
the last
that's
time he showed up on the planet,
yeah.
he killed a squadron of people because they scuffed his uniform. He defeated the guy.
You
How
know,
is that traumatic?
deserved.
It's not.
Yeah.
He joins a royal guard to protect the king's life.
Yeah.
He joins a team of friends that becomes friends with. They're cool. They're all traumatized or in their own ways, but they all face and understand and work out their stuff. So it's fine. Just because a little bit after that they have their final trial, and he thinks that, or they base it's written in a way that all of his friends die, doesn't mean anything. It's important
A little
because
traumatic.
he unlocks his Super Saiyan form. It's cool. He fights another Super Saiyan at this point who's sadistic and basically a psychopathic killer.
Mm-hmm.
So what? And then after that, there's a whole tournament that happens. He loses and gets exiled from his home planet, off on his own,
Okay.
at like 12 years old. So, and then he finds out a little bit later that his planet's destroyed. I just feel like
So, yeah, baking in trauma, makes it interesting. You gotta
listen,
go for that.
I'm writing a shonen story, so of course he's gonna have trauma. I want you to find me a shonen protag who is not traumatized. Every shonen protag either does not have both their parents, they have some kind of superpower that's in them that they didn't know they had,
Right.
that gets unlocked due to trauma, or the main villain's like, fuck this guy in particular. I'm talking about you, JoJo.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
So I'm just following the tropes.
Yeah.
Okay? Damn it.
Well, speaking of trauma, so my cousin, I don't want to reveal too much information
That's not a good way to start the story.
because she's
Ow.
actively involved in a situation with her boo
Not her boo.
that is a little bit tenuous. And this happened maybe like 3 weeks ago that they started getting into a little bit rocky waters. Well, that was when it got to its worst. She happened to be living with me at the time. So I have steadily been trauma dumped on, I guess is the right word, for the better part of 3 weeks. And it's interesting because I very much remember these like super long conversations that I have with somebody where I can't really do anything about it. I try to be supportive, and
you can't really be like, shut up. That'd be messed up.
Well, okay, so I can tell you that initially it was I tried to kitty gloves it, right? I don't think I'm very good at it, but people seem to keep coming to me with these problems, so I don't know what I'm doing right. Are you raising a hand? You want me to call on you? Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, you have a tendency to just sit there and actively listen, or at least look like you're actively listening.
Yeah.
And
it's not an act.
A lot of people
I pick it all up. I am responding.
Well, then, yeah, that's why. I mean, how many times have I trauma dumped on you?
I know. People keep doing this to me. Just because, like, I'm not trauma dumping on other people. It's like, oh, I'm the sponge.
I can tell you, even
like
if you trauma dumped on other people, that wouldn't change. As somebody who trauma dumps on people, or used to do it a lot worse, I should say.
Right.
A lot of people also trauma dump on me. It's just you are a confidant. They know that you're not going to talk to people about this stuff.
Oh, and yet here I
Or
am.
you,
Oh no.
or it's just like, I don't want to say convenience, but it's also just like a trust kind of thing.
Sure.
I just do it. I used to do it to everybody, to be fair. Then I got better at it. And then it just kind of happens sometimes. I'll be honest. I can't remember what stuff I trauma dumped on you. I think probably just a lot of things. Probably my mom's death.
It was
definitely.
There's been a couple of occasions. Yeah,
That was definitely a random one.
Yeah.
I think it just kind of happens sometimes. Sometimes it's just on your mind, and sometimes you just got to get it out.
Sure.
And you just happen to be there. Sometimes
Sure.
you just want to talk to somebody. And maybe it would be courteous to ask first if it's okay.
I suppose that would be nice. Yeah.
But when you're in that headspace, you're not really thinking about it. Hell, I trauma dumped on my aunt yesterday, actually.
Oh God.
Because she was asking me about asking me about updates on life or whatever,
Sure.
and she was asking me about whatever, and then I was like telling her about what job. She was like, "Does this job like have you doing like acting or music stuff?" And I was, "No, I haven't done that stuff in a long time." And she goes, "Why not?" Proceed to explain in several paragraphs.
Flash forward an hour, your ears burning red, and you're like, what just happened? How did we get to an hour and 40 minutes?
Technically, though, it wasn't so much trauma dumping as it was me talking out my own problem to myself with her as an audience.
Yeah.
I think I do that a lot more now. Yeah. Because I don't just dump shit on you anymore. I'm very self-aware with these things.
Good. Yeah.
And once I finally put words to it is when I'm able to actually work through a lot more of it.
Yeah.
And really address some things. And I know what's happening because I get extremely anxious as I'm trying to explain it to somebody, and I'll feel like shit afterwards.
I see. You're feeling anxious over their feelings of you revealing your feelings?
No, so the way that I kind of explained it yesterday was I would get anxious as it's happening because this is me, as I'm explaining it to someone and being transparent about it, I'm also explaining to myself and being transparent to myself about these things.
Oh, yeah, no, okay.
Because a lot of things like I'm aware of, but I haven't sat down and really verbalized or written out before.
Yeah.
So it very much seems like I'm talking to you and telling you about my problems, which I am.
Sure.
But at the same time, I'm understanding and working through it all. As at the exact same time I'm explaining it to you. So the message or the conversation I'll have with you will start off, yeah, I'm doing this because I think it's this, and then it'll just start, I wouldn't say spiraling, but staircasing into the why it's happening. Instead of like I'm not telling you problem A and you give me advice, or you're like, oh, have you thought about this? Maybe it's this thing.
Yeah.
It's more so, here's problem A, here's the reason why, here's a solution I think I should do. You know what? That's fair. I didn't even think about that before. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, cool. Or with her, she'll give me advice. She'll continue asking me pressing questions, and I'll continue exploring it.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, huh, that's crazy. Like yesterday, we were talking about why I have not pursued anything with acting or music in a while.
Okay.
And it was very much at first it was, I just it feels kind of pointless. But then that turned into, the more people kind of push me to do this stuff, the less I feel inclined to do it, and the less enthusiasm, passion, motivation I have towards these things.
Sure.
It feels like I have to do it now. It feels like a chore, so I just stopped doing it because it's like I don't want to do it anymore. And then we went into where that comes from, and that turned into, I thought it was just because I get overwhelmed by it, but then it turns into me realizing again that a lot of people, like, they don't want to do something because they fear failure. I don't want to do something. I don't want to do these things because I fear being successful, and that's a whole other ballpark.
You're like self-sabotaging yourself?
Yes. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Because I don't want to be successful.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I feel that way. And it's not like I know I deserve it. Sure. I know I have the potential and the ability to.
Yeah.
But my brain is like, because my brain, I'll think about it. Like, I'll think down the road. Let's say Lamb a la John, John Talks Lamb gets big. We become like a big podcast or whatever.
Sure, sure.
I'll think about it, and my brain immediately goes, "No, we're not going to think about that."
Is that
Because
not
the
just
more
you
we think about
protecting
us being
yourself from the potential of failure? It's
no,
not both.
because I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking about. Oh, this is going to go well.
Yeah.
Because I go into a lot of it with the expectation that it's not going to pop off.
Sure.
It's not going to be super successful.
It's unlikely. Yeah.
And it's like, it's fine. If it doesn't, I don't really mind that.
Sure.
Like, it's cool. I'm just doing this for fun. Like, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, temper expectations.
When it comes to me thinking about, what if the 2 years from now, we blow up, we become the next basement yard, I don't like to think about that.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that idea that we could be successful.
Sounds like that's a fear of fame. I also don't want to be famous.
Is it a fear of fame? It might be a fear of fame. Yeah, you know what? I think it's not even it's a fear of being in the spotlight.
Sure.
As an actor, that's literally the opposite of what I'm supposed to do. But now that I think about it, that might be what it is, because I remember back then when I was pursuing voice acting a lot more. Shoot, that's why I kind of sabotaged that too. But anyways, what's it called? When I was pursuing voice acting a lot more, I was telling people success for me is getting a small role or a side character role in a big name anime or in a big movie.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with being an extra. That's success to me. Anything more than that, that's cool. I don't really want that though. And it's like, why wouldn't I want that? You know?
You don't want to be the next Timothée Chalamet?
I won't be the next Timothée Chalamet. I'm telling you right now.
He's younger
but
than
I think
us,
that's,
I think. I don't know.
I think he's about the same age.
Maybe somewhere around there, yeah.
But yeah, that's like, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing a lot of things about myself. And that's one of the big things, is this fear of fame and success, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just also the poverty mindset, to be fair.
Could be, yeah.
Which is also why I never have money, because instead of saving it all like I'm supposed to be, I keep spending it all. That's a whole other conversation though.
Yeah.
But yeah. So wait a minute.
Huh?
We need to backpedal a lot. I never finished one of the things I was talking about.
Which one?
Which was the story, the story writing and free time.
Okay.
So rewind a little bit. I was saying that what's it called? I write in my free time at work or while I'm at work, because it's a very easy, simple thing to do. When I was writing my story for this competition, I only wrote it at work. I did not write it at home at all.
Okay.
And I don't know why it's harder for me to write at home, unless it's hell, even for my my Dragon Ball Alternate Universe.
Yeah.
I write that at work too. I don't write it at home. Maybe it's because I'm in a space where I feel like I have to be productive because it's my job, and then I'm productive in a different way instead.
Side note, I have that exact problem. I only get motivated when I'm not wanting to do something else. I don't know what that is.
It's crazy. But I feel like if I had that free time that you're trying to get yourself having, I think I'd be able to do it a lot more. Because I know even when I was writing my longer stories, like the ones that are over 100 pages,
right?
They're both 130 something. I think I was writing those mostly at work too, but I also came home with that motivation to keep going.
Sure, yeah.
I don't have that right now.
Okay, no, I feel that.
Which is kind of weird. Hell, when I get home, I've just been exhausted. And so I get home. I also have been cooking a lot more at home because we went shopping last weekend. And we all unanimously agreed that we're gonna stop door dashing and stop ordering food and just cook at home, which is good for our health and whatnot. It sucks for our storage space because we have 4 people sharing one fridge.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah,
and God forbid we have leftovers. Oh, I have wings in there. Anyways, but yeah, and so we've all been cooking a lot more. Another thing that sucks about that, is the amount of dishes that pile up is insane, because everybody's cooking, everybody's dirtying dishes. You can't just do everything in one dish the whole time, and it sucks. We run the dishwasher almost every day at this point.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So the dishwasher's for. You gotta automate that process.
That is also fair. We also all started kind of meal prepping too.
Nice.
I know Jacob. He's been doing it for a while, just because he's been working at the school for a hot minute,
Mm-hmm.
and so like he's like, I'm just making this so I can just take it to work, heat it up. It's good. Chanel's been doing it for similar reason for her job. Or like, because she works on property, so she'll come home and she'll already have something made, so she doesn't have to cook. Me, on
Nice.
the other hand, I get lunch at my job, so I don't ever. I rarely take anything to work. I
Mm-hmm.
usually take snacks, but I'll have made dinner, and I'm like, cool. I have leftovers for the next night, and I'll just make it last for 2 nights. The last thing I cooked was I made stir fry.
Hey, that's pretty
Uh,
good.
I would say from scratch. It wasn't from scratch. Or chicken stir fry. It was almost from scratch, but like I had like a little bag that had all the food in it,
Sure.
or all the vegetables and stuff. Which this is the first time in a long time I'm like, ooh, I'm excited to eat vegetables.
When you get a
And
good
I try to
sauce
make
on a
my own.
vegetable,
Huh?
you get a good
Oh yeah.
sauce on that vegetable.
I tried to make stir fry sauce with limited ingredients, and it just didn't work out. Only for me to find out once I finally took the stir fry vegetables out the bag and put them in the pan,
Mm-hmm.
that it came with sauce.
Oh yeah,
And I was like, you know what? I guess that's fair. But this is
yeah.
the stir fry and rice.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Look at the picture.
You got
Get
lighting
in
on there too.
focus.
That's impressive.
Yeah, yeah. I also have made. I like making parfaits. You can't see that.
Parfaits. Parfait
I
with
also
yogurt.
made. Yeah.
Nice.
Ah, I believe parfaits are yogurt. Hold on. Focus on me. Did it work? I also made chili mac from scratch.
Man, this
You
is
can't see it.
Lamb's cooking show now. This is great.
Yeah. I also made chicken and waffles from leftover Wingstop.
Okay.
The waffles are just buns. Fun fact, they don't waffle very well.
Do you have a waffle iron? Because those are pretty waffle
Yeah.
irony. Nice. Okay.
Those are the last things I made recently. Something I made a while ago, I made burgers with eggs. I made breakfast burgers.
Okay. Yeah.
You can't see it. I also made my own little sauce, or like jelly, but like barbecue sauce, out of barbecue sauce.
You made
And like
jelly out of barbecue sauce?
yeah, or like maybe it was more like a jam. I don't know, but it was like I put barbecue sauce on the stove, and I heated it up to make it like more of a jelly kind of consistency, or like a spreadable consistency that's not just sauce. I
Okay.
also threw some garlic and onions in there. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm
I
mixed.
think
I have mixed emotions on what you're describing right now.
it's pretty good. Shut up. I also made, as Jacob calls it, redneck ramen.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
It's like chow mein almost with ramen. So
Yeah.
like you make the ramen, you put it on the stove, yada yada. But I also put vegetables in there as well.
Nice.
I also put chicken in there. I think so. I'm not the best chef, right?
Okay.
But I'm very good at using leftovers to make other meals. I made that whole thing. I didn't put vegetables. I had potatoes and chicken in there
Hmm.
from Canes, leftover Canes
Okay.
with chicken and French fries. I made that, and and cane sauce drizzled on top. And let me tell you, that was some good shit.
There's kind of something magical about that. Like, as long as you kind of have a base protein, right? And a cabinet full of spices and random condiments and sauces and stuff.
Yeah,
If you just like know what you like to taste, you can kind of make some amazing creations. I would that usually whenever I do something like that, it's usually like I would say an 80-20, maybe more like a 60-40, where it's like this is the greatest thing I've ever eaten, or man, this really I shouldn't have done this.
I could definitely, I can attest to the 60/40 for sure. Because I do get, thing about me is I get very experimental with my food. I
Yeah.
blame my mom,
Oh, okay.
because she was also experimental with her food. I would hear stories all the time how she forced her, because she was the oldest girl,
Yeah.
but she had an older brother. But she would take care of the younger two often, and she would force them to eat her cooking. And she
Mm.
got very experimental with her food, and I definitely got that gene from her. I think the worst thing I've made so far was I tried to make like a pasta, like a tomato based pasta, but
Okay.
with ramen and potatoes. Which yeah, that's a good face to make, because it in theory my brain was like this, because I looked up
I
like
like
if you
pasta.
could put
I like potatoes.
and tomatoes, yes. In my brain, because I had looked up like if you can put tomato sauce with potatoes,
Yeah.
and like that's a thing that people do, or like
Yeah, it's
people do it
called
with like
ketchup.
rice and stuff with potatoes.
French fries are potatoes.
Oh, I'm talking about tomato sauce. Shut up. Um,
You're talking about like
anyways,
marinara sauce, basically.
yeah,
Okay.
essentially, and like that's like a meal that I found, and I was like, oh, this doesn't sound too bad. The only thing is, you're supposed to like cook your potatoes in the pasta sauce and like put a cover on it, and it's supposed to get the potatoes all soft and mushy.
Eh.
Uh, and it might be a struggle meal, but anyways, and so I was like, oh,
I
that
would
sounds
blend
cool. You
that
know what?
up,
Let me put
make a potato, like, mashed potatoes. That would be banger.
that probably was a good idea, but I didn't have that foresight, unfortunately. Yeah, it was
So,
bad. It was not good.
so wait, what did you
As I
do?
was
You
making it,
boiled the potatoes in the marinara?
no, I cooked the potatoes on the
Okay.
stove. I like seared them or whatever
Sure.
you do. You did. I did that. I also did it. Did I put chicken in there? I'm gonna put salmon in there because I was like, this is what I have. Let's see how it goes. The thing, it would have been good, except I put the tomato sauce in there with everything,
Yeah.
so everything just kind of soaked up the tomato sauce and got soft. But my roommates were saying that I should have done the tomato sauce separately and then put everything together, put the tomato sauce on top, like you do with like spaghetti,
Okay. Sure.
instead of putting it all together at one time
Sure.
because I made everything soggy. The ramen noodles were very soggy, and I couldn't finish eating it. It just not the texture did not was not good for
Yeah,
brain.
I imagine at that point it was a texture thing rather than a taste, because that sounds tasty.
Yeah, no, very much texture thing
Interesting.
was not good.
Okay.
That's probably the worst thing I've
Where's the
done.
photo of that one?
I didn't take a photo of that one because that one was pathetic. Actually, let me see. Maybe I have. Do might be on Snapchat. It was not a good eat. I'll
Oh
tell you
yeah.
straight up. Uh, and let's see.
Well, I've been trying to
No, I don't
figure
have a
out
picture of it.
food for. Because literally today I'm leaving for
Mm-hmm.
New Mexico. Well, technically I'm not leaving today. Technically I'm leaving tomorrow morning. But
Tomorrow morning,
tonight
you're
we
getting ready
are,
to go.
yeah, making final
Mm-hmm.
preps, because I'd rather not drive 45 minutes over to our leaving point and then drive another 12 hours beyond that on the same day. But
No, that's
I
fair.
collected some snacky foods.
Some snacky foods.
Yeah. I don't really, it's been such a long time since I've been on a road trip. Like, I don't really remember, like, I mean, the last road trip I was on was the last time we went to New Mexico, which was 3.5 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, somewhere in that range. And I don't remember getting any snacks for that, but I do remember we ran out of food, like when we were staying at the cabin we were at. So I
Mm-hmm.
brought food. I've got Cliff Bars, I've got trail mix, I've got banana chips. That's pretty
That's
much
it.
all I got.
I mean, you can't really eat too much anyway, so that's fair.
I'm also bringing like meal replacement
Water.
stuff. Yes, we do. We are
Mm.
bringing water, because we found out that, well, we found out last time after we left that there was a lot of lead in the water, and we just
Oh,
weren't really worried about that. Then we found out that there was lead, so now we have to bring water and we have to
now you're
shower
magnetic.
off
Got
site.
it.
Yep. Probably explains why my health took such a dramatic downturn after that. No,
Maybe so.
I'm gonna see one of those advertisements. Did you randomly take a shower at a New Mexican?
Oh no. Call now and you can get some compensation.
That lead poisoning really counts.
Why aren't we a law firm yet?
Why aren't we a law firm? Because neither of us have
Yeah.
degrees. We also don't know anything about the law.
I have a degree, Jonathan. Thank you.
in law, a degree
Oh, okay,
in
that's
law.
fair.
You could.
Well, I have a
act
degree.
Like you
I have a
have
degree in acting, and I can act like exactly.
Yep.
I can fake it till I make it. That's improv.
This is exactly. Oh my gosh. So
What?
okay, like I was saying, my cousin's been going through it. The advice that I gave at the beginning, nice. I was trying to be helpful, right? But
Yeah.
week 3, I noticed my advice started turning a little
Mhm.
more gremlin-y. Like at one point, a fake pregnancy got brought up.
By you,
I don't remember who pitched the idea.
John.
There
I
was
mean, if it makes you feel better,
that.
whenever Chanel will tell me about her little not escapades, but
Sure.
just like when she would talk to me about her stuff, my first reaction is shoot him.
Yeah, there was a maybe you should like show up with a knife and just like, pretend to really be crazy.
I guess that's always my first response is shoot somebody, because even when that
You
person
don't
was
even
here,
try
they
to
were
be
hanging out,
helpful. You
whatever.
just jump right to murder him.
No,
That'll solve your problem.
I am helpful, but my first response is always violence. And so like they were here, and they were hanging out playing like Call of Duty or whatever.
Okay.
And so she was like, "I say he did this to me." I was like, "Just shoot him." And he goes, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Is that crazy? I'm sorry, my bad. She can't be the only crazy one here, right?
I thought this is
I gotta
2025. We can
compensate
murder
for it.
people and get away with it. What do you mean?
It's not murder if you don't get caught."
Exactly. And it would really be self-defense because
Mm-hmm.
he, I don't know, verbally attacked her. I don't know what happened.
Definitely, no, absolutely. I saw him putting hands on her. Mm-hmm.
Boom. There you go. Eyewitnesses. He can't even corroborate anything
Eyewitnesses.
because, well, he'll be dead.
Eyewitness news.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yep. You heard it here first, everybody. Solve your problems with the business end
With
of a weapon.
bullets. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds better than just straight bullets. Don't take him to a COD lobby. Take him to COD IRL. In real
COD
life.
RL?
IRL. Real life.
You just described
I feel
paintball.
I just feel like you're just judging me today, and I don't know why. I've done nothing to deserve this judgment. Ever.
What do you mean?
The faces you're making, now that I can see you, I know you're full of shit, John.
I haven't changed any faces I've ever made. I've been reacting.
Oh, you have. Your face has changed quite a lot in the last couple of years.
This is always how I react.
Sure.
What? All I'm doing is I'm smiling and I'm nodding and I'm saying yes. He's putting the glasses back on because he knows it's going to tick me off when I see the computer screen. I'm mad. You've made me mad.
If I were my actual... Hold on, I'll be right back.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. You don't get angry. I'm going to Hulk out.
What if you don't? What if you just don't do that?
What do you think they came up with the original idea for the Hulk?
They were like, dang, I'm angry, so let's make it a personality trait.
I always kind of thought it was maybe like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of scenario. Nope, I mean, still see it.
Pretty much is. It's not as bad.
It's the same. It's 100% the same.
What if I do this?
Yeah, that works. Now I can't see your eyes. This is a disaster.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, for our audio listeners, we're at the point of delirium. I don't think I've looked as tired as I feel in a while. I've slept horribly because, like, my work schedule, I didn't theorize. Well, the reason that I came up with that theory of 7.5, 8 hours is because I wanted to try doing that in preparation to go to New Mexico.
Yeah.
I am exhausted. I have worked 8-hour days for the last 5 days, and I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
Let me tell you something. You get accustomed to it after a while. Because back when I was working at Starbucks, I was working 4-hour days.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine working full 8-hour shifts. But also, I was going through it very badly mentally.
Yep.
And so, like, I did not have the mental capacity to do it. Now that I do, it's like, it just happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. You just kind of go, that's life. Frank Sinatra said that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now the end is near.
Okay, you're done. No more.
And so
you're gonna get copyrighted.
I had 15 seconds. I was like, dude.
No, you don't got 15 anymore. They cut you off quick. I've seen it.
I can't believe this. Is it because I'm black?
It's everybody in general, and it's not even the companies. I mean, Sinatra's not coming for us.
He's dead. Maybe Frank Sinatra Jr. Is he still alive?
I think he's also dead. I don't know. He was on Family Guy. That's the last I heard of him.
That's also true.
Quick, pad for time. We still have another minute left. I talked for 45 unbroken minutes the other day about 3 movies that M. Night Shyamalan
he died in
released.
2016.
Yeah, he is dead. Yeah, I thought so. I have it on recording. I have a voice recording on my phone of me explaining the plot of Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
Did we talk about this on here?
I don't know.
Who did I talk about that with? I talked about it with somebody. Maybe it was in real life with somebody.
It's a good franchise.
No, I discovered it I discovered it because I think one of the movies that just came out,
Mm.
and then I just was on TikTok, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on, and I went down a big rabbit hole.
It's big. Yeah, that was how I talked for 45 minutes. I explained all the plot in detail to somebody.
Are you gonna upload it in a special episode?
I think what I'll do, I don't know if I'll put it on here. The sort of thought that's in my head right now is I'm gonna like loosely edit together. Like I'm just gonna get some photographs of each character, and when I mention them, bring that photograph up on screen, and
Mm-hmm.
then have them not semi-animated, but just like this person and this person, because I keep talking about different people and I can't
They
remember
kiss.
anybody's names. I just call them like Bruce Willis and James McAvoy or the Horde
Yeah.
or Mr. Glass, because I don't know why I remember that over Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. It's just racist.
I don't know. It's a good movie. Movies.
Before we go,
Yeah.
what's your favorite kind of Pop Tart?
Oh, it's been a long time since I've had a Pop-Tart.
You want one?
What kind of flavor you got?
I got strawberry and I got brown sugar cinnamon.
I don't like
Is
brown
brown sugar
sugar,
cinnamon?
but I do like strawberry.
Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great.
And then that's what you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to
We'll
pull
edit it
one
right
out.
there. That's it. That's our out.
Yeah.
Okay. Smooth exit. Yep.
Okay.